He has short. And that will be led by, she doesn't know it yet, Commissioner Strode tonight.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing as Chief Thompson says our invocation.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather here tonight and conduct the business of the city. We thank you for these commissioners and how they serve the city and the decisions that they'll make tonight. Just pray you be with them, lift them up to you, Lord. Just be with our citizens. Thank you for getting us all through the morning without anything significant other than a few minor fender benders. It's in your son's name we pray and we thank you. Amen.
Amen. Everyone, please be seated. I will officially call the meeting to order. And let's go and take a look and review the minutes from February 17th, 2026 special 4:30, regular 5:30, and March 3, 2026 special 4:30 and 5:30. Is there a motion? Motion by Commissioner Toole, second by Commissioner Strode. Anything anyone wants to, corrections, additions? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by like sign? Motion carries. Item 3, departmental and agency reports. Is there anything anyone would like to highlight? If not, we'll take a motion to approve departmental and agency reports.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Chenault. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Strode. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by like sign? Motion carries. Hello, Commissioner.
Find my keys.
That's not a good thing. Item 4, informational items. Again, as we say, that's just for information. So those things are in your packet to be able to review. We'll now move to our work session, and this is a pretty exciting evening because we have not only are we going to introduce a new member of the police force in a little bit, we're introducing a four-legged new employee of the Winchester Police Department who has captured all of our hearts. So, Chief Thompson, I'm going to turn the session over to you and let you update us on the police department and introduce a precious little item.
Thank you, Mayor. You want to start with Gus or you want to end with Gus?
Well, it's up to you.
We're going to start with Gus. I think everybody in the room's got a chance to meet Gus, but Gus made his way to us last Monday evening and spent Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday training 5 handlers in the department. Captain Charles is his primary handler. Dispatcher Miller, who's with us tonight over in the corner. Dispatcher Kayla Lane, myself, and Steve's wife Lauren, who works for the school systems, all got officially certified with Gus last week to handle him. Gus is the trainer that Gus has been with from Ultimate K9 up in Indiana made it very clear to us that Gus is not a pet. Gus is a working dog. And there's a big difference when he gets some playtime. He does get a little bit, but he has a very strict schedule. He's got windows that he eats in. He's got bedtime. He's got a nap time. For some reason, Steve stays in his office for 2 hours with the door shut and the lights off ever since Gus has been here.
Now we know.
He comes to us very well trained. We were all very impressed with him, very pleased with his training and how he's come around. For being 9 months and a week old, he's very calm. He's excellent with the children. We had him in the preschool last week. We had him in Stroke Station Elementary. We had him in Baker. That's where we did most of our training with the trainer that came down to teach us. And then I know Steve's had him a few places this week, and this morning he went to the health department with me, and then we ended up at the hospital and meeting with the mayor after that. Didn't know we were gonna be there, but we did. So he does really well, doesn't he, Mary?
He does awesome. He's a smart boy.
He's precious. Look.
He's got a few tricks. I'll let Steve show him off if he's feeling up to it.
So the most impressive thing about Gus is his obedience. He doesn't roll over, things like that. He has some cute tricks the kids like, but his obedience to, we can place him. I'll take him to restaurants and place him beside me on a mat, and he stays for hours. When we eat dinner at home, we place him, and he never moves unless he's released. You can make him stay, whatever. Let's go. You sit.
Stand up.
He also, the ability to, let's go. Yep. Sit.
Thank you.
So we can place him wherever we want, whether it's standing, sitting, laying, whatever it is. He will stay, unless someone says his name, most of the time, one time he'll break. He definitely loves kids. He's great with the little or the better, honestly. Preschool, he thrived. He would lay down on top of them. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And if this got the middle over here, I'll show you his favorite command. It is also, I believe, the mayor's favorite command.
It is.
Check it out. Let's come. This. Simple. The only way he's allowed to jump on people is by command, because obviously that's a big no-no. Freedom. So it's really the obedience is the most impressive part. There's obviously, we all love Dave. His level of obedience to be able to take places where I wasn't worried about him moving was a little different. He was a 100-pound horse, so I'd be a little more strict. But you can take Gus anywhere. I've taken him to restaurants, climbing competitions already, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
He's absolute best.
Can you have him give knucks?
He can do knuckles.
So
You'll
cute.
see him.
Watch him do this.
Sit.
And Captain Charles is not wearing a man purse. Those are treats.
Correct.
So,
Correct. I tried to get them to take the heat them down, call it a spud, and they didn't go for it yet. That's why he intently watches this pouch, because he's a big fan of it. But he has a very strict schedule of bedtime and eat, bathroom and everything. But we keep him on that schedule. There's a lot of new things going on. He is so well trained. We are very impressed with Ultimate Canine.
That's great.
and he has a specific nap time each day too, right?
Yeah, it's right around between
Yeah, I like
11
that.
11 and 1:30 area, depending on when school visits are. School visits don't last more than 2 hours total usually, because, I mean, it seems silly to say he gets tired, but he does, getting pulled and tugged and
Well, I bet he
everything.
does.
You can tell when he kind of gets to the end of his rope, he's ready for a break.
She may have to wait to have already said, but what's his breed?
He's a Labradoodle, 9-month-old Labradoodle.
There's a mini Labradoodle.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. So will he get as big as Abe?
He's
No.
29 pounds now. They told us not to let him get over 35, so
Okay.
basically he's full grown.
So clearly therapy dogs and canines are very different.
Yes.
So would a therapy dog, like, does that come from like a lineage, or is that just training? Like, how does?
It does, in the particular place that we use to get in, they have a number of breeders that they pull from, and they're very strict with their dogs. Like, they made it very clear to Steve when we started the process with him back in, June, July of last year, when we started that process, they made it very clear that if he gets a month or two in and he's not the right fit, then and somebody asked me what do they do with him, they probably put him to a different.
He's coming to
person.
my
house.
Yeah.
But they're very caring. They made us all sign a contract saying that we would never give him away, sell him. If we decide we don't want him for any reason, we have to contact them. They'll come back, they'll work something out with us, even if there's a refund of money. But they were very clear that Gus has been one of the better therapy dogs that they've had come through the process, so.
He's a precious boy. He's just
He
precious.
And the
is the
trainer that came
sweetest
down, he'd been
thing.
living with her for 6 months, and she'd been training him at home. And I felt awful, because when we got done with our training on Thursday afternoon, I walked up to her and I told her it'd been a pleasure, and she just started crying, she
Oh, I
started
bet.
bawling.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
And then after she left, Gus was looking forward pretty good.
Oh, I
But he's done
bet.
real well the
I
last
bet
couple
he
days.
was. Bless his heart.
But he pretty much stays with Steve, and if Steve needs a break, or Steve needs to go somewhere, or somebody, whatever, myself or any of the other handlers can take him. But I had to lay the law down with the department, he can't have any human food or snacks or anything like that. You can't go with them. We do have 2 dispatchers that spend an hour with the trainer to learn how to walk in, take him out to go to the bathroom. And you even tell him to go to the bathroom, he goes to the bathroom, he sits down until she's done. So it's
It's
pretty
really nice
impressive.
when it's cold outside, because it doesn't take a long time.
He's highly trained, that's for sure.
And just as a reminder, we got a $10,700 grant did. Steve worked on that. The same grant we got for GenSIC, we got it 2 years in a row. And then the school board put up 6,000 and I paid the rest out of local forfeiture, or Alicia did here recently. So
Around
we got a little
22,000 or so,
Yeah,
about
just over
22,000 total.
We got 4 handlers with him, but we paid for a 5th to get Lauren in, or however you want to look at it, one of us or Lauren or whatever. But we thought it would be best for Lauren to be trained with him too, since he's going to be living with Steve and Lauren, so.
And still a partnership with Rural King or Tractors?
Tractor Supply is going to provide us dog food, correct?
Yeah, so Rural Kings provides Gen 6 dog food, and Tractor Supply reached out on their own and offered to supply this. So they're gonna be a bag a month, which will be more than enough for him. And we're gonna switch him over to that, because he's taking a certain kind of brand right now that we'll be able to sell around here.
Okay.
So I was able to get enough of it to last the month, and I'm gonna switch him over to slowly to.
Yeah.
And his trainers approved that. They said it would be a good dog food for him to be on, so we're going to switch him and he won't have that expense. He will have to be groomed every month, just because, he's got 1,000 hands on him when you take him somewhere, so.
All right.
He'll have to be groomed every month, and have to go to the vet regular and all that stuff, but we're super excited.
Yeah,
We're lucky, we're so fortunate to have him.
Absolutely.
And the service he's already been performing since last week.
It's like I told everybody when we ran into it, we talked about the price and everything, is that if you look at it as, they could be a 10-year working dog.
Mhm.
So you break it down over 10 years, the price is a lot less, a lot more manageable when you look at it that way. And for the service it's gonna provide, it's a very minuscule cost over 10 years.
So clearly, I would imagine he works mostly with families and children. So children sometimes act a little erratically, and you have trained him clearly professionally. Do you have any things you have to do in particular that maybe someone couldn't catch by watching you if a child's too invasive of his space or anything like
We
that?
spent a lot of time with her on that last week, and you don't really think about it until she teaches it to you.
Yeah.
And I'll provide you an example. We went to Baker and I had him when we went in the special needs room, and they were really rough on him. She told us, you're gonna have to be careful, and she kind of told us how to negotiate that, how to
Sure.
kind of play it off as she said it. And she said, sometimes you're gonna run into some kids or some adults that he just doesn't want anything to do with.
Mhm.
Some kind of sense, and we ran into one of those in the special needs room. But she taught us how to kind of play that off and kind of roll through. But you gotta watch them. They wanna pull his ears, they wanna grab his mouth, they wanna grab his feet, they wanna, but it doesn't bother him at all. He does really well.
I'd say, well, being that breed, I mean, people are so used to them as a household pet and all that.
And some of the training videos she sent us, they were really rough with him. She was rough with him in front of us. Matter of fact, we all got in trouble for not being disciplined enough with him and not really getting after him. And, they put him in, they placed him, like Captain Charles said, on a bed or a blanket or something, and they would run lawnmowers and toys and just whatever you could imagine.
Shoot guns, I'd imagine, and all that, yeah.
Yeah, all things, so. We've not phased him yet.
He's a cute boy.
His
Tased him.
came in the PD day, need the vacuum, and he leaned in the office and said, is the vacuum gonna bother him? We're like, nope.
My dog gets a arch,
Well, he is.
Has he met Bo
enemies
yet?
the vacuum cleaner.
Has he met Bo?
Bo doesn't like
He hasn't-
that.
he hasn't met-
No,
he
they're
hasn't
they're
met-
having a play date.
Okay, good.
Like I said in the beginning, he is a working dog, and any of you know of any circumstance that you think he would be appropriate, please reach out to Captain Charles or myself, and we'll find one of the 5 of us that can grab him up and come to that situation. That's what he's here for, so. Not only to comfort us, but to comfort people out in public and civilians and what's going on.
Sure.
So.
I think he needs to be over here at City Hall at least once a day, Monday through Friday. At least once an hour, Monday
I
through
knew
Friday.
you weren't here last week when we had him over here. I knew you'd be a big fan.
He's cute.
Well, we're fortunate, as I said a few minutes ago, to have him to be able to provide that within our police department. And
Exactly.
you guys have done a great job with him, and we're excited to have him as our,
Good boy.
we'll soon have another newest in a few minutes, but our newest addition.
That is correct.
Do you have
Yes.
other pets at home?
I have a 11-year-old Winchester Schnauzer that's like 11 pounds.
Gotcha. I was just wondering.
They played for like a couple events, and my Harper, my other dog, realized that he's a lot bigger than her.
Moved on.
She just gotta stay away. But he's only 9 months old, so when he's at home, he's allowed to be a pet. That's one of the things I asked. So
That's
when
good.
he's at home, he plays with his toys, and we
Right.
run around, throw tennis balls, whatever it may be. But when he's at work, or especially with the vest on, he's not
Sure.
allowed to act like that. And he knows it. He tries, but he knows it.
My friend Teresa takes her dog, she's got a big, but big Labradoodle. And she takes him to the nursing home at Brooks Place, the hospital and everything. Is that a thing that he might do? And
Yeah, he went to the hospital with me, they didn't see any patients, but the mayor had a meeting out there and she called us out there and we went out. I mean, he just happened to be with me when she called the mayor. Didn't know that. He was buzzing around the health department with me today, visiting them, and they were moving things, had some boxes and crates and didn't bother him a bit, so. And he does work for free, you don't have to have treats, I had him all morning, I didn't have a treat on me, so. He didn't like to work for free. But,
Wait a minute.
Was he on the clock or not? He looks like he's napping.
but he does know when he's wearing that bag, but he's in pretty good shape.
And Captain, you did say he has, can have play dates, right?
He can, yep. She's
Supposed to.
How to introduce him to the dog, so. We haven't introduced him to Jensen yet, I don't know how that would go, but, he can't be no dogs.
Pretty much when you take his vest off and take his leash off, he knows that he's kind of free and
Yeah, so
Oh.
smart.
put the leash and the vest on, he's a working dog and he knows it. So.
Wonderful. Smart dog.
All right, Mr. Flynn's got me on time constraints tonight, so real quick, he has an update on the police department for the commission. Dispatcher Lane and Captain Charles put together a quick PowerPoint for me. It's mostly pictures, and I'm gonna yak, because you know I love to talk about the wonderful work that our staff does at the police department. So we kind of already covered this. That's us with our certificates when we officially graduated last Thursday. Let's talk about staffing for a minute. The police department at this particular moment is at 33 sworn police officers. Back here in the back is Dana Robbins. Dana's still up here. When you all interviewed me to be the chief, you asked me about hiring females, and I told you I'd like to have one on every shift. Well, we're working that way. We only had 3 that applied. 2 of them couldn't pass the physical agility test. Miss Dana comes to us. She's originally from Mount Sterling or Jeffersonville. Don't correct me if I mess up here. I'm shooting from the hip. She started her law enforcement career in Corpus Christi, Texas. 6 years?
Yes, sir.
At Corpus Christi, and she decided to come back home, and she's been at Mount Sterling since then. Dana likes what we're doing here. She talked to us a couple of times, pretty close, applied in the process, and she's gonna start with us on Sunday. Brings a lot of experience, she's been in the National Guard, has been through a lot of trainings. She's been through some trainings with our people, and she came highly recommended with our guys that have been through trainings with her. So I'm super excited to get her started next week. She'll require very little training. Mount Sterling uses similar systems as us. So we just got to introduce her to our policies, our procedures, get her uniforms, and get her on the street and get her going. She's going to be working day shift because nobody on night shift wants to move, and that's a good problem to have. So she's going to be working day shift, so you'll be seeing plenty of her. So, Ms. Dana, this is your city commission, and they'll be voting in the next hour, but I'm pretty confident we'll get the.
I think so.
Thank you all. Well, welcome.
Communications, we have 16 full-time. Dana will make our 34th sworn, by the way, and we're budgeted for 35 this year. We're down to non-certified officers in the applicants process, and we're down to 5 of them that we're doing background checks on. I had Captain Conley extend a conditional job offer to 2 of them yesterday. That's going to take us to 36 here in a couple of months once we get them on board. They got a few more hoops to jump through. They got to do their physicals, they got to do their drug tests, and they got to do their polygraphs. So once we get them through there, you'll see them pop up on an agenda, and we'll get them started in the academy hopefully this summer. Shouldn't be but a month or 2 to get them in. Mr. Flynn, Alicia, and I are discussing budget for next year, where we want to go, and we'll present that to you a little later. As far as communication staff is concerned, we still have 16 full-time dispatchers and 2 part-time with Jeannie and Rhonda. It's been that way since I've been the chief, and since we made Jeannie and Rhonda part-time, brought them over from Adeco. It's working really, really well. So dispatch is fully staffed, and we're proud to have it. I asked you last year in the last budget to let me buy a crime scene vehicle for Chief Palmer, our evidence custodian. And there is that vehicle that came in last fall, and you can see he's got it fully equipped to respond to a major crime scene and process that scene. On the right is Chief Palmer several months ago processing a murder-suicide on West Side Drive. I took that picture. He utilizes that vehicle to respond to us. He also utilizes that vehicle to go to the lab at least once a week. Sometimes he has to go twice, and that's in Frankfurt. So he actually is in West Virginia this week training with the FBI on fingerprinting. He has been able 2 or 3 times here in the last few months to pull fingerprints at a crime scene and solve the crime because of the fingerprints. So he's really gotten into it. We bought him a new camera there you see in the middle. We use federal forfeiture money to do that. It's a few $1,000s. It's got a lens on it that can take you from here to Walmart and zoom in on it. So he goes with some of the narcotics guys when they're doing drug deals, and he takes pictures from afar and records that, videos it, and all the things. So he has been an absolute tremendous bonus to the department, being up in CID and taking care of our evidence. He's cleaned out that evidence room. We've gotten rid of a lot of things that don't need to be there anymore. We've put a lot of funds in the bank and given them to Alicia in our forfeiture account because the case was done and closed. The money was still laying up there, never been cleaned out. But he's taking the time to do it, and we put money in the bank because of it. We've been training a lot since the 1st of January. As you know, we got a grant last year to replace our duty weapons that we wear when we're on duty, not our off-duty weapons. We got a grant to replace the duty weapons. The majority of the department came to me and told me they wanted to switch from a Glock handgun to a SIG handgun. I didn't care either way. As long as it shoots and fires and goes pew-pew, it's fine with me. So I let Captain Conley make the decision, and we ended up switching to the SIGs. We've been at the range a lot because we switched to a whole new platform of the gun. We went to a new sight package that I'll show you here in a minute. We changed calibers from the 40 to the 9, and you'll see in the pictures here in a second in the slides, our shooting has improved tremendously because of it. And that was the goal of it. Not only that, but we've got new firearms that we don't have to worry about having issues with or replacing things on or malfunctioning or so on and so forth. We've had our ranges out at my house down in the bottom on Muddy Creek, and nobody's called to complain so far. I called all the neighbors. I said, we'll do some shooting. Everybody said, okay. So in the past, that's not been the case, but so far so good. So we've been out there on good weather days. The targets on the left are our old handguns. Target on the right is our new handgun. You can see a significant difference on those 2 left targets there. The grouping in the middle and where it is, and all of them are that way. So that's the whole reason that we did this, was to improve our shooting. It's worse for the guy that we're shooting at or the gal, but it's better for us and it's better for the people that may be around or civilians in the area. We're responsible for every one of those bullets, so we can put them on target like you see in the middle there. That's what we want. The guns themselves, on the left, you see the Glock with the old sight picture, which is just a little square line and a round dot on the front. To the right, you have a sight that we call a red dot. It's got a laser dot in the middle of it. It's got a big sight window. It's made to shoot with both eyes open. It's made to put the gun in front of you quickly, acquire that laser quickly, and wherever that laser's at is where your bullet's going to go. So that's why you see better shooting. But not only that, we went back to the 9mm from the 40, so the gun has less recoil, and it just makes for better accuracy. Back in the day when we switched to the 40, it was a good thing because the knockdown power of the 40 caliber was a lot better than the 9, but over the past 15, 20 years, they've really improved the way they make the 9mm bullet, and the knockdown power is not much different. On the right, you see on top is our duty SIG. It's a P320. On the bottom is a P365, which is the off-duty weapon. One thing about these that the Glocks didn't have, both those guns carry the same amount of ammunition. So a lot of our detectives are wearing daily the gun on the bottom as opposed to the big gun on the top, and our patrol officers are wearing the big gun on the top. But I don't have anybody that's unhappy at this point. We have 40 of each of those weapons. So if we get up to 40 officers in the next few years, we already have the weapons for them. We don't have to worry about buying them. And again, the top gun, the duty weapon, was paid for with grant money. The old guns on the left, the officers had the opportunity to purchase those guns for the trade-in price, which was $250 a piece. That's what Glock was going to give us, or it's actually Kinzel's was going to give us back for the guns. But we're allowed to sell them to the officers, so we offered that. Most of them took advantage of that, and I bring Alicia money about every 2 weeks, and she dumps it in to help pay for the rest of those guns. As you've heard, and we've talked about a little bit in here, recently the sheriff and I formed a joint special response team for Winchester and Clark County. Second picture from the right there, the gentleman holding the shield with his hand extended out like he had a gun in it, is Sergeant Wes Conway that works for the Sheriff's Department. He's retired from Lexington, spent 11 years on their ERU, their emergency response unit, has a lot of real world experience with exactly what we're doing here. After spending a year trying to figure it out and gauge who I wanted to run this team, Sergeant Conway was always at the top of my mind. Very impressed with him, think the world of him. Approached him, asking if he'd be interested in doing it. He was thrilled. Approached the sheriff. Sheriff didn't hesitate for a second. So Wes is running the team, and currently it has 14 members of the Winchester Police Department with him. There will be another deputy or two that will go through training and will come on board as time evolves, as people come and go from the team. But we've capped it at 15 right now. So right now it's Sergeant Conway and 14 members of our squad. This is them training at the Cardinal Community Center, the old Hannah McClure, a few weeks ago. Where it's empty right now. It's been an excellent place for them to go and make some room entries and do some different trainings. We have gotten a lot of equipment the last few years through grants. Chief Hall did that, and we will continue to seek that. But in just the last few months, we've collected $1.2 million in federal forfeiture funds that's been coming our way for a long time, since back to 2015. That money's been sitting there. It's been watching. Chief Hall tried to collect it. Chief Palmer tried to collect it. And I didn't do anything different other than I stayed on top of them, and I was logged in daily and called, and squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? And we reached out to legislators and we did things, and finally the IRS released the money, Alicia, 6-8 weeks ago?
Yes.
And it all dumped in a week, $1.2 million. So we got about $1.3 million in that account right now. It's drawing an interest at about 4 1/4, and we can still use it. We had a heck of an interest income last month on it.
Right.
But we're going to utilize some of that money. We already have a little bit. We're going to use some more of it to get this team fully equipped. Chief Whiteley, can I share your idea? Sure. Are you with me? Are you with me, or are you just trusting? As you know, Chief Whiteley just brought home 3 new ambulances. He's getting ready to at least retire 1 or more. And he has offered me to look at 1 of those ambulances that he wants to get rid of and make it a command vehicle for this team to store their equipment in, a vehicle that would respond to them. We would just have to maybe remodel it a little bit and put a wrap on it and make it look like the police instead of the fire. So, but I thought that was an excellent idea, and I am going to take him up on it. And we'll be doing that soon after he gets his ambulances pushed in. Starting next month, the fire department's going to be training with this team with some medics. Not only are they going to be training with them, they're going to be doing some training for them, teaching them some tactical medicine things, and then there'll be a medic that deploys with them when they deploy out. They have been out twice. This was the first time they went out, very freshly after we formed it. That gentleman you see in handcuffs there in the bottom right picture, decided to choke his mother and slam her up against the wall and do some things to her that weren't very nice. She called the police. She wanted a protection order against him. She got one. She did not want to press charges on him for what he did to her, but she did want a protection order, and part of it was to order him to vacate the residence. Deputies went out there to serve it. He wouldn't come to the door, and even went so far as to make threats, told them if they didn't leave, he was going to harm them. Sergeant Conway called me, said, I think this is a good opportunity to use the team. It was a Sunday afternoon. We went out there. Sheriff Perdue and I were there. Less than an hour, they made some call outs. He tried to flee out the back door. He ran right into 4 or 5 of our officers, and that's how he ended up. So, and he's out of the house, and we found some kids and some dogs in some very deplorable conditions, and the county placed some other charges on him. So it was a very successful, safe, as you can see, this team, they just have different equipment than what your patrol officers carry, equipment to keep them safe, equipment to keep other people safe, and it's expensive to do, but it's just a necessary thing. I thought this was kind of neat. This happened since my last presentation with you all. Lexington had their helicopter up, and this gentleman was wanted on some violent felony warrants. He ran from Lexington, he came through Boonesboro, and he ended up coming into Winchester, and the helicopter was following him. We got behind him on Maple Street, took him almost to the Montgomery County line on I-64. It was actually me that was behind him, and I had these fine gentlemen in uniforms come up and arrest him when he finally decided that he was going to pull over. The reason he pulled over is because we used our spike strips. One of our officers did spike him in the middle of the interstate. But it made for some, all these pictures came from Lexington's helicopter, made for some good pictures and video. Just our guys at work. Y'all probably seen the goat. That was last summer. He was running all over town. The phones were ringing off the hook in dispatch. Those 4 on the left managed to wrangle him in a backyard, and he was safely returned to where he belonged. I don't remember where that was, but he was not harmed. But just a funny. This is just showing you officers out in the community. Top left, we've done the contract welcome squad for a week at a time for 1 week in the fall, and now we last week did a week in the spring, or if you want to call it spring, it doesn't feel like it today. But we did a week last week. Had a softball team in the school's community softball league. Went really well. On the right, you see Chief Craig Craft getting his free lunch out of Baker. He's not going to miss a free lunch. Sergeant Reed with him. And you see some other officers in the background there. They had us out for a first responder day. Top left, the Explorers collecting toys for the toy drive they did. Mr. Flynn's son Andrew arrested the Grinch who was running wild with the Christmas parade. And again, the Explorers toy drive down there on the bottom. This was I think this was the 5K we did for Labor Day. And you see some of our guys in the Explorers participated in that. Up on the top right, Chief Whiteley and I spoke at the First Responders Chapel for Calvary Christian. And there's a picture of everybody that was in the room on the bottom. Couple of awards this year. On the left, Patrolman Harrison won the Impaired Driving Enforcement Award for 2025 for the department with the most DUI arrests, and Patrolman Ashcraft on the right won the Occupant Safety Protection Award for seatbelt tickets on the right, and that's tickets that we write as part of our federal overtime grant. Taser 10, this is money that you guys spent, significant amount of money that you guys spent. We just paid our first payment on these. We got them in the late fall. Trained on them. We went from having a single cartridge on our taser with a spare on our belt to now, as you can see on that bottom left, there's 10 holes there. There's 10 individual cartridges. I have to shoot you twice to tase you, but I've got 10 shots. So I can tase the mayor and I can turn around and tase Shannon if I'm a good shot.
He goes
Maybe-
first.
I'm hitting the ground if you get hurt.
We've had a lot of success with these. They're noisy, they're loud, they light up, they do things that intimidate suspects and they make them back down. And if we have to use them, they're very useful. The second deployment of the SRT team this past Sunday night, I don't know what it is with Sundays in the county, but it's Domestic Violence Day for some reason. But this past Sunday night, we had a gentleman that assaulted his wife and got her down in the driveway and strangled her a little bit, and she got away from him. And he did the same thing the last one did. He ran in the house and said, "Nobody's coming in to get me." Well, the SRT team went in and got him about an hour and a half later. They ended up tasing him with one of these because he didn't cooperate. And he came out and was uninjured, as was our officers. So money well spent. You all know that I've taken over code enforcement. And Leon, we've been working on traffic safety ordinances. I've redone his vehicle from just saying code enforcement with the Winchester emblem on there to make it clear that he is affiliated with the police department, and it now has blue lights all around it, as well as the amber lights that it had. But we were having some safety issues with him working wrecks because the lights just weren't adequate. So spent some local forfeiture money on that, and put blue lights all the way around it and redid the striping package to make it clear that he's affiliated with the police department. I think it looks good. Leon's been doing a great job since January 1st with code enforcement being under us. He's responded to, this doesn't mean we got this many complaints, but he has responded to and dealt with 210 code enforcement complaints. I checked before I came over today. So that's a lot, and he's getting ready to get busy with grass and all the things going on. But he's been doing a really good job since Becky retired, keeping up with the administrative hearing board, vacant properties, list goes on and on. Many of you email asking questions. Leon's staying on top of it. If you have a question or you have a property you want checked out, please reach out. We'll see to it that he gets to it. But super proud of the work he's doing. If you look close, you'll see 5 or 6 of our supervisors in there. This was an FBI leader class that took place in Lexington last month. It's leadership training for leaders. I'm big on leadership training. I'm big on leadership in general. So I told them if they're going to hold a spot, they're going to go over and they're going to sit through some of the classes. But they enjoyed it. They went to Rupp Arena and took a picture. We've got a lot of leadership training piled up for the rest of the year too for these guys too. I think it's always evolving how to get people motivated and get them to do what you want them to do and make sure that we're treating them right and doing all the right things. So I just don't think that can be much more important on our agenda. This is a big one. Many of you have talked to me about it individually. I haven't really spoke about it publicly other than on the radio with Mr. Berger. I did sign us up first week of December for the ICE 287G program. You can see right there what that means. It's authorized by the Illegal Immigration Reform Act of 1996, allows U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement to delegate specified limited immigration enforcement authority to state, local, and tribal law enforcement officers. It enhances public safety by partnering with local law enforcement to identify and remove foreign-born criminals in local custody. That's the 3 words you need to make sure you remember. Alicia Martin helped me with this, going over this and helping me apply for it. Mr. Dykeman reviewed it to make sure there wasn't anything in it to scare us away and signed off on me on the memorandum of agreement. January the 13th, I think it was, we received training credentials for our officers, meaning that they could start their training. I picked 2 officers. It's Sergeant John Lorette and Patrolman Bryce Harrison. I had about 10 volunteer for it, and I picked out of the 10 myself. What they do is if someone is in custody in the jail, or if we have to arrest somebody for some serious crimes, they have the ability to do a immigration interview with them, figure out if they are here illegally or not and where they've come from and how they've landed here. And they have the ability to, with assistance of ICE on the phone, to put an immigration holder on them. We have, since they had to go through an online 40-hour class, each of them did. Once they got through that, we did not become active until we participated in 1287G arrests. Well, those don't come around very often, but we did have a gentleman here in town that was here illegally that we dealt with several times that likes to fight with, assault our officers. And he reared his head one night and they had to fight with him and they had to put the taser 10 on him. And the next morning I instructed Sergeant Lorette and Patrolman Harrison to use this program on him. They went to the jail, they interviewed him, they verified that he was an illegal citizen. They went through it with ICE and he left the next day in an ICE vehicle and will not be back to Winchester and will not be assaulting my officers anymore. Once we did that, it made us active in the program. We were the third agency in the state of Kentucky to be active in the program. That made us eligible for funding, which I've applied for and has been approved and should dump next quarter after the end of the month. And that is $100,000 to buy 2 vehicles for those officers to put in our fleet and $7,500 per officer for equipment for those officers. And it's just general police equipment that we would buy through our budget any other day. So it's going to get us a couple vehicles in the fleet. And we have now expanded this a little bit. They've opened it up to, they kind of branched off of this program with a program to go and check on illegal immigrant children that have been placed in foster custody, to go and check that they are where they're supposed to be, with who they're supposed to be with, and that they're safe and in a good environment. And they are offering revenue. We've done 10 so far. We took the whole area code of 40391.
Wow.
We've checked on 10 so far. I think we found 5 or 6 of the 10. Don't hold me to that. But they will send us a check for a couple $1,000s per kid for going and checking on them. So I'm generating revenue so that when I did my budget with City Commissioner and Alicia, I didn't ask for a whole lot more than I've got this year because we know that it's tight. So that's what's going on there. I appreciate your all's support of it. I appreciate you all standing behind me. Took a lot of flack for it, but dealt with everybody individually, and I only know of 2 people that never came across the board for me. But that's okay. I don't expect everybody to agree with it. But we are not, under any circumstances, knocking on doors and dragging illegal immigrants out of their houses to deport them. That is not what we're doing. We're just, if somebody wants to come here and create shenanigans in this town, it's another tool in our toolbox to make sure they don't do it again. So that's what that is. I want to talk real quick about task forces. We currently have a detective on the DEA task force out of Lexington and London. He's been on that task force since 2012. That's where your $1.2 million came from that we just got in federal forfeitures from things that he has worked on. And he got a percentage of the monies of every case that they worked on. A lot of that came from the pill pipeline and what's going on in Florida back when paying bills were a big thing. We have a detective who's full-time on the Lexington U.S. Marshals Task Force. This gentleman was hiding out here in town, was wanted for some violent sexual offenses out of Ohio or Indiana, I don't remember which, but he was hiding out in town, and having a detective on that task force with just a phone call, that whole task force comes here, and we found this guy, we removed him. And if we're looking for somebody who's outside of our jurisdiction, Detective Keffer has the ability to go with them. He has a federal license, he has federal jurisdiction, and just puts a lot of tools in our toolbox. And Sergeant Thomas is also serving on that task force in a part-time capacity. They reimburse all their payroll when they're doing these things for these people. We get it quarterly, don't we, Alicia? We get a electronic deposit cover their overtime for that they're spending on that. And there he is behind bars. There's been about 4 or 5 other examples of him here in the last year, people that we've taken out of this town that were hiding from another state. Narcotics has been very busy. You've seen on my social media, I try to post it, things that we've collected from the community. I had a massive operation last year that netted about 31 people that got charged with trafficking. That was, a process from April to August. This is a lot of the pictures from that. Some of this came from just ordinary traffic stops, but it's all over town. I will tell you, it's getting better. It's hard to buy dope right now. We were talking about budget the other day and money that we want to budget to purchase narcotics, or what we call our investigation money or our buy money. I've only got money 3 times in this fiscal year. It's been hard to buy drugs in town. That's a good thing. Overdoses are way down, and that's a good thing. Not that we're not still having them, and there may be some out there that aren't getting reported to us. It's very possible. But the numbers are down, and that's a good thing. In the middle there, that's bills that got shipped here from out of state that our DEA task force officer has been working on, but those came here to the post office, and that's just a drop in the bucket as to what's been coming in. But that's a dark web thing that they've been working on. As somebody out of state shipping those in here. Those are not, they look like an Adderall pill or something like that. as you see on the machine up there, they're methamphetamine and nothing else. Some more pictures of that. More of that money that we get, that we end up getting to put in our local forfeiture account. And I would not leave you today without letting you see your city manager and your fire chief dance to raise money for kids.
Look at Mike, look at Mike's expression.
I mean, look at this. These guys are out here making it happen. I took a lot of flack. I took a lot of flack for standing behind the video on this, and I told them it's gonna get them, so I'm sure this is gonna cost me.
You will pay.
There goes my buddy.
That's wonderful.
Any questions, guys? I went a little longer than Mike wanted to, I'm sorry.
That was worth
Yeah,
it.
that was.
Questions, comments, concerns?
Great job, that's all I can say. Great job.
Appreciate what you did.
Our staff is working hard, so.
I know you are.
And you know, one thing that I've really seen since you've become chief, not saying anything about any former chiefs at all, but you've had our department out in the community. And they're attending things, they're going to, just general community events, and they're showing up in so many places that I've never seen them before.
I drag them out every day, so.
How long have you been in your position now?
Be a year, it was year 2 last month.
Right at it.
And that you and Burl have got that going is wonderful. That is really good.
We're better together.
Yeah, I
Chief
love
Whiteley and I sent out a letter today with the shenanigans that are going on at the county. DES is laid down. We've not had DES meetings for a couple of months, but he and I got together today and sent the invite out. We're gonna have one next month at the police department. Whoever wants to show up can, whoever doesn't want to show up, they don't have to.
Let me know.
But it's out there and we'll be there. We'll try to keep that held down until somebody shows up otherwise to do it. So I know you were concerned about the storm last week, but if something happens, we'll get through it. We'll deal with it. So.
Well, you know, last week we had no judge at that point, no emergency management director, and I was very concerned, and you know that, so.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Excellent job.
Good
Excellent
good
job. Okay, anything else anyone want
You got 20 minutes, Mr.
to,
Flynn.
the chief, real quick?
20 minutes. Time like one.
Okay, Mr. City Manager, do you want me to go ahead and do comments, or do you want to go to closed session first?
Let's just go ahead and do comments because
Okay.
I don't think we'll have enough time to go to closed session.
Okay,
And
All
we'll,
right.
and we'll probably have to do closed session at the conclusion of the 5:30
okay,
meeting.
all right. Commissioner Chenault?
Oh, I would just like to tell Chief, well done. Look like he's doing, he very seldom can use the word excellent, but it's hard not to use the word that. So, well done, Chief.
Thank you, Joe.
Commissioner
I
Strode?
echo that wonderful job, and I just think working together that you and Burl are doing is so important, and that hasn't happened for a long time, so I feel really good about that. I guess this is the best time to say this. For those of you that know Ken Davis, please keep the Davis family in your thoughts and prayers. Ken is in his last probably few days of living. And he's done a lot for this community over the years, particularly the Pioneer Festival and the parks. So I wanted to share that.
Thank you. Commissioner Cox?
Yeah, Ken's my next door neighbor, and also he's been a mentor and a father figure for me since my dad passed, and
We'll miss him.
yes. Congratulations to the Lady Cards who did what me and Lisa and me and Dan Himmel were never able to do, and I'm expecting a repeat with the boys this week.
They play Thursday night at 8:30.
Thursday night at 8:30, yes. There's never been until this year, a year when the same school won the boys and the girls state tournament both. This year it's going to happen.
I hope so. They're in the best bracket, we think. Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Commissioner Toole?
Echoing everyone else's sentiment, we'll be making a post on Facebook, but we're going to start the animal shelter towel drive again. So gently used towels, do your spring cleaning. There will be a container right out front here at City Hall, at the public library, and at College Park Gym. And that'll be out by Friday for about a month.
And ours is here. You brought
Ours
it
is here
tonight,
now,
correct?
so bring your towels, maybe clean. That's it.
Wash them
I've
first,
got a
please.
list I need to bring.
Please bring some, and that's it, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Dykeman,
Nothing bad.
city manager?
Just one thing, one of the informational items that was in your special meeting packet there was about the Fifth Street project, and just want to make sure that you're aware. We had the progress meeting minutes in there, but in the paper, we'll be advertising for bids on the 17th with the bid opening of the 31st, and hopefully to start that project in July. Due to the type of project that it is. And that is a $350,000 project that we got through it's an OSG grant, and it comes through the Kentucky Division of Water for stream restoration projects. So I just wanted you to be aware of that project. And we are working on, I actually met with the engineer and the Division of Water today out on site for the bridge project for MLK. And hopefully that we'll be able to finalize those plans. We've got one of the permits in place. We're working on a couple of the other permits to put in place, and then we'll have to coordinate with schools. And if you recall, we did get the bridge money, the CCIB, the County Bridge Improvement Program money, and we got that. And then we're working on some of the other grant funds there. I think we've got the majority of them in place. We're getting close to finalizing all that money. You're probably looking at $1.9 million worth of monies that we've been able to acquire through that. And the city will be paying $25,000 of that cost when it comes to the $1.8 million. So hopefully we get good bids when we do it. It's going to be a very, very complicated, it's in a small area, but it's a very complicated project with all the utilities and all the other infrastructure that's in place that has to be moved in order for us to build that bridge. But at the end of the day, it's a safety issue with regards to being able to get our fire equipment and stuff over there, especially with the 3 schools that we have in that area and their response times to that. And then it hopefully help alleviate some of the traffic concerns that we've experienced there over the years as well. That's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, and I have 3 things. First one, at our April 7th meeting, I have asked the GRC girls to come in to be recognized. I met with Terry.
Can I explain something?
Uh-huh.
Actually, at the 5:30 meeting on April the 7th, we're having the KLC come back for the strategic plan. So the girls' basketball team has been moved to April the 21st. It was supposed to be at 5:30. And this just happened today. But they're coming at 4:30 on the 21st because they're also going to be at the Board of Education meeting that night too.
Okay.
Hopefully the boys will have to.
So now we'll go back and say April the 21st at 4:30. I have talked with Mr. Yeast over the weekend and communicate with Dustin Howard. And so I want to ask each of the commissioners that night, if you will, to wear a GRC t-shirt, sweatshirt, or something, and let's show our support of our girls. I've had to ask Diana and Joy to come up with something that is a certificate, not normal, our service to the city certificate, but an ambassador certificate. So they will be our ambassadors for the next year. So that's great. Also, over the weekend, I was notified that Russell County had actually gone to the Russell County High School and held a fiscal court meeting in front of the whole high school assembly. And we are being asked to consider doing that, and you all can give me your opinions. Interim county judge has said that the county would like to participate in that. So I've asked Joy to form a committee, get those lined up, see what it would require, and find out if that's something they want to do between now and the time school's out, or start the fall, or how to do it. So Joy's in charge of that. And last thing I want to say is a great big heartfelt thank you to Whitney Leggett for what she has done for this city, for downtown, and for us individually, and Godspeed. Okay, is there a motion to adjourn the 4:30 meeting?
Motion?
Motion by Commissioner Cox. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Tool. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any like sign, anyone no? Okay, we are dismissed until 5:30, which is, looks like 9 minutes.